shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Defiance Marine carries all the gear you'll need, from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle, bait, and more. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine guarantees the best price on a new motor and the best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine has certified technicians, some of the best in the industry at evaluating your boat issues and any problems. Defiance Marine has boat financing experts on staff to help you get the best term and rates on your new boat purchase. If you need financing for a new boat, call or stop by and see them today. Defiance Marine is your one and only stop to help you get out on the water.
Cutbacks in funding and fewer law enforcement resources are affecting our businesses and communities. If your business is feeling the effects, Phoenix Protective may be the solution you are looking for. They offer security solutions customized to meet your needs. From remote video monitoring in their 24-hour control center to a proactive, experienced security professional on site, Phoenix Protective has over 20 years experience in ensuring the safety of their customers. Team members are highly trained and proactive, giving them the ability to adjust to the changing needs of their customers. Customers choose to work with Phoenix Protective because they provide the next level in security support to industries such as schools, hospitals, transit, and utilities. For a security assessment to see how Phoenix Protective can help you and your business, visit their website at www.phoenixprotectivecorp.com and select Contact.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company can build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
We've got a ballistic solution app on my...
Tuna grounds are on the ocean, Tommy. We're going to do that. Don't go anywhere.
We've got all the great fish that make great fish and chips.
Hey everyone, hello and welcome to Fish on Northwest, Wayne England, and yes, Tommy Donlin.
Hey, I'm back.
You are back.
Yeah, man.
We'll get into that in a little bit, the exact reason for the departure once again, and for very good, probably the best reason of the entire year.
Yeah, it wasn't fishing or hunting this time.
No, and boy, so excited for you guys. This is good stuff. But glad to have you back, man. We got a great show lined up. Lots going on, of course. We are, you know, on the heels of spring, apparently, almost on the front edge of summer, but you wouldn't know based on the weather.
You know, I'm trying to figure out if it's really June or is it like more like November.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It depends
January.
on the day. Yeah, there you go.
We went from November to January. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So the weather is looking a little more positive down the road here. I think we're going to finally turn the corner and maybe see a little bit of that brightness in the sky. A little warmer.
Hope so.
Yeah, it's we've had plenty of rain. Let's just say. I mean, look what's going on at Yellowstone. Told you about that.
I know.
Holy cow! That park's going to be closed for like the entire season.
Right.
And that's going to be a financial hit to many who rely on that 3-month window of tourist activity to really get them over the hurdle. Well, might not get to have those folks this winter, you know, partaking in the observation of wolves in their natural habitat. Yeah. That's going to be a sad thing. Anyway, hey, I want to welcome everybody to the show. Thanks for signing on. You guys got questions, comments, go ahead and sign on here tonight. Tommy and I will try to keep track of what's going on. Of course, the Beard behind the scenes staying up on it so we can answer your questions and comments. Always appreciate that. Grab our content, share it on out there. Invite your friends to the show because we got another good one lined up for you this week, as we do each and every week, as we come to you live from the Fish on Northwest studios located here on the beautiful shores of Summit Lake, Olympia, Washington. So with that, remind everybody, if you haven't done yet, taken time to do so, jump on over to our webpage, www.fishonnw.com. You're going to see right there front and center Coupon code for Edge rods, FHN20, 20% off all rods all the time, unless they fall under, Tommy, another type of discount or program or what have you. Veterans have a access code as well. But for us, all rods all the time, if they're not under another special, but 20% off every fishing rod you're going to purchase through us via Edge Rods. Simply go to our webpage, click on the coupon, takes you right to Edge Rods, and start shopping. Coupon code is applied at checkout, and you're going to save 20%. So, and apparently, we're selling a bunch of rods.
Right on.
According to Alex and the folks there.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are. You guys are doing a great job jumping on what they have going on and purchasing Edge Rods. And, you know, give us some feedback, man. If you're finding rods that you are, utilizing and finding success and really enjoy fishing those rods, let us know what you think. That feedback gets back to Edge. We like to keep them informed as to how you guys think their fishing rods are performing, so it goes full circle.
And, well, we've also been patiently waiting for some rods, and tomorrow you're going to make a special trip down there.
I am going to fish a lake in the morning, is the plan, and then for a few hours, get my limit of kokanee, and then head on south and go pick up some more. I got some 9-foot kokanee rods waiting for me.
Is that what? Okay. Because I know you're going to help me out and get my slow pitch jigging rods.
Got some slow pitch jigging rods.
Which is what I'm looking forward to.
Troll rods. Going to get some slow pitch rods for Puget Sound Chinook as well.
Yes.
Lots of plans going on in that particular arena. But yeah, we got some stuff down there in the rack waiting for us with our name on it. Going to go pick it up. So
awesome.
Pretty excited. As we work our way through the show here, we got lots to cover tonight, as we do each and every week, and then we're closing out the show with a few bits of information, what we got going on the next few weeks. So just hold on, because it's going to get good. With that, Thomas, welcome you back to the show. A little special announcement from the Donlin family.
Yep. The FHN family got a little bit bigger.
It certainly did.
A few days ago.
Got another license to purchase in the near future.
Yeah, right. So my wife gave birth to our beautiful baby daughter, 9 pounds, 12 ounces. No small child. No small child. Well, it is the Donlin family. There's no such thing.
That's right. That is like certain other things don't go together. That is one. Small child, Donlin? No.
No. That's not a thing. I think Junior, he's 2 years old, 2 years and a couple months, and he's already pushing 40 pounds. So his baby sister's giving him a run for his money. Right out of the gate, right? Yeah, look at her. Cute, to say the least. Delaney Rose Donlin, 9 pounds, 12 ounces. Yeah. Congratulations to you guys. So you got a boy and a girl now. Yeah, and we're done. And you're done. And that's it. Yep. Closing up shop on that. I'm getting too old for this, man. Yeah, look at you. You're a wreck. Yeah, I know. Complete mess. I'm going to look like you pretty soon. I know. Yeah. Haggard, grandchildren. I mean, they wear you out. So you're going to have to retire early just to keep it. I'm good with that. Yeah, congrats, man. Thanks. Yeah, 2 kids and exciting times ahead. So happy for you guys. It's just exciting stuff. So good to have you back. Hey, along with that, did you pay attention? Did you put any special draws in? I did. But I donated to the process once again. And stacking the points up? Yeah. Yep. I just went ahead and said, no, I'll just take the points. You're just going to take the points. I didn't even want to open the Christmas present and be disappointed. I always put in for Moose, and obviously don't elect for the points option, but that's a long road to that tag. And so I'm towards the beginning of the journey. Yeah. I put in for both Bull Moose and Antlerless. Yeah. But no, I did not draw on anything, but except for the deer multi-season, which is almost a gimme. Like you can, typically get that after the fact if you didn't draw it. But I'm actually doing it this year. I bought it. I'm invested. I need to go over to Archery World and get dialed in. We need to go over there. We do. And get dialed in. Yeah. Go meet up with Ryan Black and do a talk with Joe and Megan. But get you set up. Get my new bow set up as soon as I get my shoulder back to 100%. But for the 2022 special hunt draws, they are out. Came out in email yesterday. If you're having difficulty, you can simply go to Fish Hunt. That should be easy for you to remember. fishhunt.dfw.wa.gov. Log into your profile, and you're going to find whether or not you were selected for any of the special permits you put in for special hunts. You'll be notified there, especially if it's your first year doing it. It can be a little confusing on how this process works. So go to that link, and you're going to find your profile and go ahead and log in there and see if you were awarded or not. I know some folks were blowing up social media in bragging rights of what they landed. I got a buddy down the road here, Brian Alexander. His kid pulled two
two elk tags in
Did he really?
different areas. Yeah,
Oh,
so
wow.
young Jack, happy for him. They're going to definitely put some meat in the freezer with the program they got going on. So congrats to everybody that did draw. Some folks are signing on here, nothing, nada, Jeff Wilson, nada for me too. Yeah, right there in that camp as well. Of course, like I said, I just went for points, just put it off until maybe next year I'll be more focused up and get some opportunities. So I got my sights set on me and Matt Messing. I think we're going to actually get serious about low muzzle loader for elk this year. That's going to be
There you go.
That's going to be the way to go. Because I don't think the shoulder's going to be back to full par to where I can be practicing enough with the bow. And I kind of like the opportunity during that muzzle season.
Right. Yep.
You still got bulls reacting to
You can catch
calling.
a little bit of the rut.
Yep, and we got a couple areas I really want to drill down on here in the next few months, start getting the cameras out, take a poke at what's going on. So I'm kind of, that's where I'm going to put my efforts. And of course, locally here, I'll go after my blacktail. I got a 3-point with my name on it.
There you go.
Yeah, already know where he's at. So anyway, things to look forward to, and as we walk down the road of hunting as we get deeper into the season. But before we get there, my friend, not only do we have a ton of fishing going on, crab dates were announced.
That's right. Yeah, we got some crab dates coming up.
Crab dates were announced.
And we're going to get into that later into the show with Mark Yuasa as well. But just to give you a quick rundown, most areas open July 1st, but not all. So, you really got to look at the regs. That's kind of the message here. The Marine Area 7 North, that's going to be a late opener, and typically is. This year, it's August 18th. So keep that in mind. We are going to have a crab opportunity though in 10 and 11, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Some years we don't get that, and so and that's growing up, those were always my stomping grounds. I'd launch out of Redondo or Des Moines and crab those areas. So that's really cool. 12, the southern portion of 12 and Area 13 are going to remain closed.
Yeah, so, still not good enough population to get those going again, which really sucks. 13 is right out my back door here.
Yep.
Fishing, kind of on the uptick, but the crabbing thing still not happening. So
and unfortunately, as is with everything else in Washington State, you can't just assume that because you're going out to catch some coho, some resident coho, that you can throw a pot in the water, right?
7 days a week.
Right, 7 days a week. That's not the case. So you really got to read the regs, make sure you understand the rules, and abide by the law.
A lot of those areas are certain days specific throughout the week. You got a Thursday through Sunday, or whatever the.
Yeah, and Area 10 and 11 are different. It's Sundays and Mondays only.
Yeah.
Real
narrow opportunity.
It's narrow opportunity. They want to control that quota.
Yep, get you all the way through the end of summer is the reason for. So that imparts less pressure per day, but you got one weekend day and one weekday. So Sundays are going to be pretty crowded.
Right.
Sundays are going to be crab pod heavy, out there fishing for salmon on the troll. Watch for those crab buoys. So. Moving along, hey, kind of a unique thing, Tommy. They've announced that the Merwin Special Kids Day of Fishing event is returning July 9th. This is one that they did for a few years, and of course it was absent for the last 2 years due to COVID and whatnot. But after 2 years absence, we got a special fishing event for children with disabilities. Will return Saturday, July 9th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Merwin Fish Hatchery east of Woodland.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of participation in this before. So when they did it previously, prior to COVID, they had about 100 young people and their families do this. It's a really awesome day. And this is sponsored by WDFW as well as Pacific Power.
Right.
And so I think Jordan had the slide up with the information on how to register, but you do want to pre-register before June 30th.
Yes.
So kind of keep that in mind. That's going to be here before you know it. That's basically 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
And then what's really cool about this is the rods, the reels, the tackle, and a T-shirt. The kids get that.
They get to take it with them.
They get to take it with them. It's provided to those young anglers. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so prior to that event, WDFW actually plants 3,000 catchable trout weighing up to 4 pounds into the pond there. Volunteers will be there as a one-on-one coach mentor for these kids with disabilities to help them be successful in that day of fishing. It's just a really great youth event for kids with disabilities.
Yeah.
They got wheelchair access. They can roll them right up there to the edge of the pond. They help them cast it out there, get it. And it's a derby, and there's prizes. And you can simply go to www.everbright.com, and then there's /E or / Merwin, and then Special Kids Day registration. You know, easiest thing to do is go to WDFW on their webpage, look under the news tab, and these announcements are all there front and center for you to grab, and easy to navigate. Get your kids signed up, like Tommy said, before June 30th, and make it a special day. Along with that, we have one additional event going on. The CCA is putting on the 9th annual Pete Floor Memorial Wenatchee Salmon Derby. Our boys at Max Lure are well involved in this because it's over there out of Wenatchee. But the North Central Washington chapter of CCA is announcing the 9th annual Pete Floor Memorial Wenatchee Salmon Derby is returning to the shores of Columbia River July 15 and 16. They encourage anglers of all ages and skill levels to participate in this amazing conservation event supporting CCA. The Derby this year features over $7,500 in prizes, in addition to exciting raffles and more. For more information and purchase of your tickets to be involved, go to WenatcheeSalmonDerby.com, and all the information is up there on the TV for you. So another great event. It's a memorial type derby. It raises money for CCA in that chapter, and just a lot of good opportunity, man. And all this is based around fishing and opportunity for both kids and adults. So it's exciting stuff. So with that, hey, let's get to it, man. Great show lined up for tonight, and we're going to stamp right through this because we got plenty of information, conversation to have. Running down the show, no stranger to the in-studio or on the phone, Chris Turvey, Columbia River Guide Service District Sales Manager of Brad's Killer Fishing Gear. Columbia River Chinook opportunity, Tommy. It's been kind of going crazy lately. The tail end of the spring Chinook run, or is it truly June hogs? Chris is going to break that down for us in discussion to tell us, you know, what the difference is and some tips and tricks for success right now with all this high water. Then we're going to bring back in studio here a friend of ours, Larry Stamp. You guys know him, Rods and Reels in Need. He has taken on something else, Tommy, as if he's not busy enough running his business in Rods and Reels in Need. He is organizing the first annual Fish Expo here in Thurston County at the Thurston County Fairgrounds. What it is, where it is, and why you need to attend. Larry's here to tell us all about it. Really looking forward to that one. It's going to be a good segment. So stick around. After that, our good buddy Mark Yuasa, who has taken on the position now. He's the Communications Manager, Public Affairs with WDFW. We're doing our regional roundup with Mark. That guy has his thumb on the pulse. If you don't follow his blogs or articles, you should. We're going to get into a regional roundup with him. So much going on. No better person to straighten it out for us to understand than Mark Yuasa. Then we're going to close out the show. I had put a post up, Tommy, about kokanee. And, you know, kind of a small fish, kind of a little bit of a volume of work involved there if you're going to get it to, I don't know, a certain level of either grilling or smoking. How deep of dive do you take into these little critters? You know, what is the work really worth it? Well, you know, I'm here to tell you it is, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and then of course we've got a couple announcements as we wind it down and close out the show. So don't go anywhere. A couple-minute break. When we come back in here, we're going to have Chris Turvey on the phone, Columbia River Spring Chinook, what the heck's going on down there, and how to go get them right here, Fish on Northwest.
Sportco, an outdoor emporium, is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
For more than 90 years, you've entrusted one brand to guide you towards living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now you can entrust affiliated Better Homes and Gardens real estate professionals to interpret your needs and help you find the home in which to live your dreams. Through every stage of your home buying or selling process, and through every stage of your life, there's Better Homes and Gardens real estate. Expect better.
Sergeant Daniel Moulter began his tour of duty on October 21st, 1996, and ended his tour on June 27th, 2020. On the authority of Constable Carlos B. Lopez of the Travis County Constable's Office, Precinct 5, badge number 504 is officially retired, and Sergeant Dale Moulter is 1042. Godspeed, Sergeant Moulter.
Honoring fallen law officers of 2021. The 2022 End of Watch Ride begins in May from Spokane, Washington. The ride across the country to honor the men and women of law enforcement who paid the ultimate sacrifice in their service to our communities will cover more than 23,000 miles. We ride to ensure that no fallen officer or their family is ever forgotten. EOW relies on sponsors and donations to cover this cost. Please consider donating to help support the families and departments of the fallen officers. You can donate by visiting our website at www.endofwatchride.com/donate. Please support the Blue.
Hi, this is Joe and Megan from Archery World. We have 4 store locations. We are at the Lacey location right now. I just want to highlight some of our camping gear. We have Mystery Ranch packs. We also have trekking poles. We have crispy boots. We have 6 Hour optics. We carry Havalon knives. We carry Garmin products as well. So it's not just archery. We want to try to make this one-stop shopping for you guys. And so if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
Hey, welcome back in studio here. Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin, and yes, boy, scared me for a minute.
I know. I thought he was too busy fishing.
Yeah, well, he may have been. He may have been. The discussion we had off air here as we rolled back into it. But hey, everybody, Chris Turvey, Columbia River Guide Service, and of course, District Sales Manager at Brad's Killer Fishing Gear. Just getting off the water. Chris, sounds like you had a heck of a day.
Yeah, it was great. We're just trolling Brad's 360 Evolutions and mini cup plugs and a few spinners. And, we had a lot of bites. Missed some, lost a double. And but we ended up getting 5 nice keepers and released some. Fishing's been pretty good. Yeah.
Five nice keepers. Yeah.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah, it sounds like terrible day. Hey, let's kind of break this down, Chris. So, we're kind of at the tail end of spring Chinook. I mean, ideally, most of those have found their way up into our tributaries that we're still targeting and can find really some good success, especially on the upper east side. You're still finding some good success on some of these spring Chinook. Kind of crossing over here now into the historical June hog. Does that June hog fishery truly still exist? What's your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting fishery. We've seen a lot of stuff the last 20 years. Some really banner years, and then a lot of years we don't even get to fish for them. And so there's a lot of guys that don't have a lot of experience in it. The Lower River, me included. I mean, it seems like, we'd get to fish on them 1 year, and then we'd have a 3-year break where we don't get to fish for them. The only positive thing this year is the high water, and we had so many spring Chinook that it just rolled right in. Sorry, these guys are talking. It rolled right into this banner summer Chinook fishery that they I think they under forecast. So that's my opinion. Yeah. There's a lot of fish coming. There's a lot of fish being caught, but that upper Columbia fishery, has just been banner, and I think that's where a lot of this has stemmed from. Above the dams, and I'm talking about Wanapum, above Priest Rapids, all the way up, to Chelan Falls.
Chris, it's been a while since I've actually done the June hog thing. I think for me, and I know this probably surprises you, Dwayne, but I've actually done it.
Whoa.
2011. It's been some years.
Well, it's a couple.
But what I remember, Chris, from this fishery is it's really critical, especially if you're on anchor, right, which lane you're picking to anchor up in, and then also, associated with that, the current, right? Current's a big deal. And so I'm just curious, as you look at the amount of runoff that we have and this last big snow melt that we're going to get and what that's going to do to the river. Tell us about that, like what's going through your mind, and what is your approach to trolling versus on anchor, and how do you account for that current?
Well, so I have an anchor fish, not at all this year down here. We're fishing below Bonneville Dam, about halfway to the mouth of the Columbia. I know quite a few guys that are, and they're having tremendous success running, banana-style plugs, wrap those tuna fish or sardines. And, the guys that are successful, they're anchored close to shore. They're typically, it could be 6 to 8 feet shallow water, or, the current will start to slack off and those fish don't have to hug the shore as close. And then boats sitting in 17 to 20 feet of water are starting to get them. But this high water, it seems like it's been consistently anything close to shore. Travel lanes, pinch points, has been the common factor in the successful anchor guys. They've, just keep your plugs wrapped. Don't over let them sit out there too long, and those guys are being pretty successful in 14s and 15s. Plug sales from the Brad side of things has just been a record year. Scott Call and myself, when we ordered for the year, we were like, okay, yeah, we're good. We're going to finally get to rebuild our inventory and warehouse, and not even close.
How about that?
No, because they, usually we don't get pretty much, it closes for adult retention the 22nd. And usually we don't, when we do have a season, we don't get this much in June.
Yeah.
Usually it's like a week in June if it is open or so. And the plug bite has been so great because what you said, this runoff, this high water, all these storms that have been coming through, and flash flooding in some of these areas. And the water, the Columbia is murky down here, but there's a foot and a half of visibility for us. And I think the fish can see a little bit better. And it's a perfect scenario for plug fishing. We thought to try to think outside the box, and we wanted to downhill troll with 360s and super baits and cut plugs. And, last week we had a lot of success doing it. And so this is kind of fun. I mean, you're dodging logs and you're fighting, grass and junk on your rod.
Right.
There's a lot of that floating down. I mean, some of the wood rafts that are floating down the river, it's massive. I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that's floating down.
Well, Chris, hey, talk a little bit about that approach that you are using, not sitting on the anchor. You've described what a lot of guys are doing, and the plug fishing's been really good in the shallow water and uptight, almost in the brush because the river flow is so high. But as you just were kind of saying, you're on that downriver troll. So let's talk about how much lead does that take and what depth of water you find in these fish. And of course, you're dodging all the debris coming down, but you're finding really good success with your 360 flashers in your Brad's cut plug. So kind of break that down for us. Give us some colors and some scents as well.
So we're just in your basic setup. We got a 20-inch bumper. The new Brad's 360 Evolution. The two top colors are the silver scale, and then the 50/50. One's the O2. It's half mirror, half silver scale.
Yeah.
And then from there, we're running cut plugs with cannon hooks or super baits with triple hook rigs, and we're running a 28 to 33 inch leader, 32, excuse me. Today it was 28. Everything was 28. The other day they wanted a little bit longer leader, but we're 20 feet. We're finding shelves 20 to 27 feet, and we're just kind of slowly downhill trolling and heavy leads mid boat, light leads in the back of the boat. What you're finding is there's quite a few fish suspended. They're not on the bottom. There's some fish are. We're picking some off, 2-3 cranks off the bottom. But a lot of these fish are cruising. They're booking it. This water's got them all jacked up to make it up to Chelan Falls or wherever they're going way upriver. And some of these fish, I'm marking fish 5 feet deep, 10, 12 feet deep. We haven't got a lot of those to bite, but we have got some bites fishing super shallow, probably more shallow than you ever would. And it just makes me think, gosh, there's a lot of fish in the river.
Yeah.
In order to be able to do that, and we're just pointing the bow downstream and going for it, and if there's not too many weeds, we'll we'll power troll into it upstream. We've got a few bites doing it that way, but majority of it's been downhill, and it's kind of tough with the gas bill the way it is. But
no kidding.
Yeah, catching fish, and the thing I really like about the trolling is it seems like our hook to land ratio is a little bit better. This whole plug bite, I don't know what's going on, but I've got some buddies that they've been having a lot of bites in order to get some fish, and I don't know what the deal is. They're changing hook configurations, doing everything they can, but they just kind of seem to go back to the stock, double split ring setup that they were running. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But as far as scent, just chicken of the sea, tuna and oil, and then it seemed like sardine oil seems to be the better. We're putting Procure sardine oil in there. The other day, it would seem like it was sardine and anise, but whatever's fishy. Yeah. Fishy. We picked up some today on shrimp spinners too. We put some shrimp out there. Gold blade with red beads. What'd that do? That hooked 2 fish, and then a light bulb, chartreuse green dot with green beads. That got bit as well.
Yeah.
So when these fish are suspended like that, are you trying to fish the middle water column?
Yeah.
And what's the, how many rods do you run on your boat? And kind of what's your lead setup?
Yep. So majority of these fish are suspended. They're traveling 15 to 18 feet. Like I said earlier, they're worth something super high. And if you're marking with your transducer, it's like, okay, how many other are that high? We had 1 or 2 bite like that, and I'm talking super high where you can stand up on the back of the transfer, you might see the flasher back there. But majority of these fish, 15 to 18 feet deep, and 20 to 27 feet of water. There's the middle of the water column. Bow rods, mid rods, we're running a pound of lead, 16 ouncer, and we were getting bit anywhere from 20 to 25 feet on the line counter. That's probably with the rake we got in the current. Getting a good rod thump, that's 22 to 25 on the line counter is putting it right in their face. And occasionally we'll drop one to the bottom, and we pick some up off the bottom, but the majority of them have been suspended. When we hit the bottom, we're 20 to 27 feet of water. We're anywhere from 33, somewhere around there on the line counter. But no, I would not hesitate at all to fish the mid column. Trust your electronics. Today they were deeper for a while, and then surprisingly, when the sun came out, I would not have expected this, but those fish, they were traveling and they were up high. They were in the middle of the water column. Yeah, it was a beautiful, summer day down here. Not a lot of wind, sun up high, no clouds, and that's when we started marking fish. 12, 15 feet deep. And, the back rods, the lighter lead rods, we were running some 8s and some 10s, out 25 to 30 feet on the line counter. And, I had a heavy pole, so those are probably fishing in that 12 to 15 foot range. And those were doing really, really well. Really nice.
Well. Hey, Chris, before we wrap it up here, real quickly, talk about the differences, if you could, between fishing a regular, 10.5 foot, 1065, 5-power rod that's designed for, troll fisheries, lead fisheries, downrigger, versus a 360 design on a rod to really get that cadence and thump on that 360. And then I want you to finish that out with also talking briefly on, can persons actually put too large of lure behind their 360 that hinders the performance of that flasher?
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely get too big of a lure and not get the right action. Most of the time, these fish, spring, summer, and fall, they're going to want that lure to kind of dart and dash or pause for a sec. And the only way to do that is by a 360 flasher. And if it's too big and too much resistance, too heavy, it's going to pull on the backside of the flasher, and you're not going to get that 360 effect that we're all looking for. Probably one of the biggest blades, if you're going to run any kind of shrimp spinners or anything like that, the biggest blade you want to run is maybe a 4 if you're going faster. That's why the 3.5 is so common. But now you're starting to see guys dibble and dabble with even smaller yet. 3.0s, 2.0s. Wow. It's think of it as lighter, smaller. It's just like our kokanee cup plugs. It's a super small lure. It was marketed for kokanee. However, every year when we go fishing in the Brad's boat, some of our biggest fish of the year come from that little tiny bait, and it's simply because it's zero drag, zero resistance. It allows that flasher to work the best it possibly can. And then I think sometimes too, these fish, when they see that smaller presentation, they don't think twice about it. Like, I can bite that. Where a K15, a KF16, that bigger banana style plug, they might be, that's a little bigger than I can battle. I'm going to pass on that one. But there's been a lot of fish caught on 15. Size 15 banana style plugs. So, don't think that's, they got to be small. There's been a lot of fish caught on those big plugs this year. I haven't heard of any on 16, but 14s and 15s.
Gotcha.
Giants do eat peanuts.
Giants do. Big elephants eat peanuts. Yeah, this is true. Yeah, and whales eat krill. Huh?
Yep, exactly.
Whales eat krill. So, hey, Chris, we're kind of up against a break, buddy. Always great information from you. That's why we like to get you on here, because you tell it like it is and to the point. So, nice job today. Put some definite nice-sized fish in the boat, and I know you'll be after it day in and day out here until we no longer have this lower river opportunity.
Yeah. Well, just so that everyone understands, it closes below Bonneville Wednesday. It's the last day for adult retention. Then it goes to only one hatchery steelhead or jack.
Yeah.
Hatchery Chinook jack. So it is what it is. At least we got the opportunity, and it's always good for everybody. The small communities selling gas, ice, food, the lure companies, you guys, everybody involved. Every time we get to come out here and fish, it's a win-win for everybody, regardless of how many fish we catch, just as long as we have the opportunity.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, appreciate it, buddy. Chris Turvey, Columbia River Guide Service. Hey, look him up on social media, Facebook, Instagram. Book a trip with him. You're not going to be disappointed. He will get you on the fish and have a great day. Stay in touch, bud. We got more to talk about.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right, thanks.
Bye.
Well, there you go. Man,
he's killing it.
Dude. It's just,
fish.
That guy is just flat out smart. He's kind of like you, a little bit of an engineer brain. And he designed that 360 flasher that Brad's just putting out there, that breakaway flasher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing good things.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. He thinks like a fish. There's no doubt about it. All right, gonna jump out for a quick break. We come back. Dave, don't go anywhere. Larry Stamp gonna join us here in studio. We're gonna catch up with him as to what is going on with rods and reel and needs, and of course the Fish Expo coming up this Saturday, the 18th, over at the Thurston County Fairgrounds. It's going to be an event you do not want to miss. So stick around. A couple of minutes on the break. We'll be back right here in studio, Fish on Northwest. Allied boats are built by West Coast fishermen for West Coast fishermen. Deep V 21-degree dead rise at the transom guarantees a smooth ride no matter the conditions. Allied offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Allied boats range from 19 to 32 foot in length, so no matter what type of heavy gauge boat you are looking for, we have it for you. All of our Corsair 21 foot and larger designs come standard with reverse chine that is welded inside and out with no extrusions below the waterline, so that you will never have to worry about corrosion problems down the road. Get out on the water today in a boat that you can trust and enjoy with Allied Boats. Contact us at Allied Boats today to learn much more about our incredible fishing machines.
New days, new beginnings, new friends, new loves, new dreams, new goals, new scenery, new job. No matter what the next chapter holds, Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate will be there to help you find the new that's right for your lifestyle at any stage of your life. Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate. Expect better.
Hi, we're Joe and Megan Malico, owners of Archery World up here in Lacey.
We're a full pro shop, so we have a full pro service also. We have a huge indoor range. We carry 11 bow lines, all the major bow lines, and then there's subsidiary companies too. Like if we carry Bowtech, we carry Diamond. If we carry Matthews, we carry Mission.
When you come in, we're going to ask you, what kind of price point you're looking for. What's your hope, what's your goals, what's your scope, and with that information in mind, we'll point you in the direction of, that price point bows, and then maybe give you the option to test fire, maybe a higher level bow, just so you can compare. But it really is all about getting what it is that's going to work for you.
We don't upsell anyone. They shoot it, they like it, they don't like it, they don't get it. We don't operate like that. So if you need it and it puts you in the outdoors, we probably have it. So come down and see us.
Hey, welcome back, Fish on Northwest. Dwayne England, Tommy Donlin, and Larry Stamp. Back in studio, man.
Good to be here.
It's been a bit, year plus or so, huh?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. Rods and Reels in Need organization that you established. When did you get that going?
3 years ago, this last March.
Okay, 3 years ago. Okay, about the same time we got up and going, actually.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Hey, before we jump into this, I want to make a mention here. Kyle Henderson's asking, can we talk about sockeye salmon and what to use? Yeah, Kyle, towards the end of the show, we can fit that in on our closing here. We've got a few points of information we can throw out to you that hopefully will help you out. So we'll get to that, and we're going to answer a handful more questions. You guys just keep them coming. We'll try to do the best we can. So 3 years, rods and reels in need. Talk a little bit about the genesis of that, what compelled you to get it going, and really how it's going 3 years in.
It's going great, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I do home inspections for a living, and I got called to do this inspection for a lady, make sure the house was safe before she brought her brother home from the hospital. She warned me that he was a collector, okay? Mm-hmm. And she was absolutely correct. The whole house was full of fishing gear.
Is that right?
Everything. I mean, every room.
Sounds like my kind of house.
Yeah, it was like Cabela's and just nuts. And I had this idea about taking donated fishing gear and get it into the hands of people who couldn't afford it. So I told her, I said, Carla, I'll buy as much as I can because this will get me started. And she called me later that night. She said, just come get it.
Oh.
And so I grabbed a buddy of mine in my full-size Chevy pickup, and we went and we got it. And it took quite a while to load the truck, but it filled my entire Chevy pickup. The back, the bed, the back seat, everything. I'm going home. I'm looking like a rabid porcupine going down the freeway.
Rods everywhere?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that is when it got real, not to be punny. And I got a hold of my fishing buddy, Dan Crow, who's a lawyer in Yelm, and he did all the 501c3 pro bono, and we were off. That was kind of the genesis of the whole thing. And
who do you cater to? What is Rods and Reels in Need? Who are you looking for?
Basically, I'm looking for people who can't afford gear, who are challenged financially, kids in particular, veterans groups, elderly people, and so on. And we've kind of painted this whole thing with a broad brush, and I get out a lot of gear to veterans because they have a lot of need for gear to be able to get them out. So, but that's primarily what we've been trying to do, is to target those folks.
And do they reach out? Is it like all word of mouth, or how do they get a hold of you, or do you try to seek out certain veteran groups to work with, or how does that work?
It's been mostly word of mouth with some help of this show. What is it? Oh yeah, Fish Hunt Northwest.
There's those guys.
Those guys got us some props out there and got us going. A lot of it's been word of mouth. A lot of it's been social media. And initially it's been a little bit of a challenge because, particularly with the kids groups, you have to develop that trust. You don't have a kids group that's just going to say, oh yeah, and not knowing that you're going to be able to supply the need or not. Right? So that part of it's been a little bit slow to develop, but we've been working a lot with Big Brothers Big Sisters, Salvation Army,
and
Raise 'em Outdoors, and some groups like that.
No, that's great. And that's not the only thing that you're up to. So you also, it's amazing. You also just created and organized the first annual Fish Expo, which is going to be over here at the Thurston County Fairgrounds this Saturday, right?
This Saturday, 10
a.m. Tell us about that.
Well, the genesis of that is that I was in Clatskanie, Oregon, and it took me 2 weeks to learn how to pronounce that. Okay, Clatskanie, Oregon, at a little place called Finn's Tackle, which is awesome. Oh, and they have these little fish expos periodically, and I got introduced to a bunch of small businesses, mom and pop kind of folks, who just make amazing tackle stuff that you're not going to find in the big stores, not in mainstream media or whatever. And we had talked about, hey, let's do an expo. It'd be really nice to do something in Olympia because they can't afford the big sportsman shows. So I went into the fairgrounds with the intent of just renting one building, and I walked out renting the entire
complex, the entire fairgrounds,
fairgrounds.
And then you're probably thinking, boy, I better fill this place up, huh?
That's pretty much it. It's been like a field of dreams.
It's like when you buy that monstrous tackle box. You know, when you're a kid, you're like, that one's, oh my God, look at the size of that tackle. And you buy this huge tackle box, and you go, now
I need more gear.
I got to fill this thing up, right?
I got one lure in it, right?
Yeah, big tackle box. Now you got to fill this place up. So, how'd you go about doing that?
I'm not sure precisely. It's just the word has gotten out, and we've got a trout pond, and Fish and Wildlife is bringing us 500 fish.
Nice.
Puget Sound Anglers is setting that up. In fact, that's going to happen tomorrow.
Okay.
Country KO radio station is broadcasting from there.
Yeah.
We have beer garden, food, all kinds of vendors, and then there's this guy. What's his name? Oh yeah, Bill Herzog.
Oh, that dude.
that guy.
He hangs around my house once in a while.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not.
You find him on the couch every once in a while.
Well, I got to pull him in. He's sleeping out there in the driveway. He gets wet. I'm like, here, old man, come in here and take the couch. Right.
Warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, so he's going to come and talk.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's talking twitching for trout in rivers and lakes. We talked a little bit about it last week when he was here on the show with me again. And he is giving away a 6-pack of hand-tied trout jigs that he makes and that he finds really high success with on his twitching in his presentation. He's going to give those away to the first person that goes up to Bill Herzog and tells him who his favorite band is of all time. And if you have followed that man, like I have for years, you're going to know exactly who it is. You better be first through the gate and go find him, track him down. Little hint, he's probably hanging around Fish on Northwest booth if he's not up on stage giving a presentation. So pretty easy to find him. If you find us, you'll find him. So
or he's in the beer garden.
Or he's in the beer garden.
Right. So, I mean, you're not in the business of organizing these large events like this, are you? Or maybe you are. I mean, I'm just curious, how is it? You probably had that, like, oh crap moment, like I just rented the entire, fairgrounds and I've got to fill this thing.
Now what am I going to do?
How has it been organizing everyeverything?
I wish there'd only been one oh crap moment. There's been multiple. I've been like a chipmunk trying to cross the freeway at rush hour.
Little Frogger action,
huh? How has it been? Nerve-wracking, just absolutely nerve-wracking. But some absolutely amazing, phenomenal people who've helping me out. I mean, I'm more of a facilitator with this whole thing, and I've just got good people who are as committed to this as I am.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's been great. Because it's my first rodeo.
Sure.
And, I already did this a couple of times.
Yeah.
I did it again a while ago because I rented for 2 days next year.
Right. Yeah, you're already jumping ahead already, right?
I like it.
Booked in.
I like it.
What about how many vendors, small businesses, folks you got setting up booths and whatnot?
I think we're just shy of 50.
Okay.
Awesome.
Just shy of 50.
How many people are you anticipating, you think?
2,000 to 4,000.
Yeah? What would you be happy with? 2,000?
Oh, I'd be delighted with 2,000.
Yeah. I think you'll get it.
Yeah.
Weather's going to be decent, and it's nice that it's in this part of Puget Sound down here, Thurston County region. There's a lot of outdoors folks out here in this particular area. You're going to draw folks in from Roy and, all over the place.
All over.
Yeah. It's quite a few are responding to it. We're putting it out there on social media, getting good response. Lots of people taking it, sharing it, saying, hey, let's go do this. I think you're going to be surprised. I think the turnout's going to be fantastic. So, kind of explain what else is going to go on. You got seminars of a handful of different people, don't you?
Yeah, Anglers Unlimited is going to come and talk about salmon fishing in Puget Sound, up area 10, I think it is.
Sure.
They're also going to talk about couples fishing.
Oh,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You know, what husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend can do to have a good experience.
Yeah.
You and I should probably go to that.
We should go to that. At this point in our relationship, yes.
Yeah.
We should probably. We could use a little counseling.
Tom Seward from, and I always fumble over this name, Pacific Marine Management, is going to talk about the problem with sea lion predation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
And what they are doing to try to manage that.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge problem. The guy is extraordinarily knowledgeable about what's going on with that. So that's going to be really, really exciting. And then Bill is going to be talking on 3 different slots.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of gave him an a la carte and a Bill Unchained.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, you know, folks will show up if they miss him the first time and are around there for a couple hours in the afternoon. They can catch him. And, you know, he's great. He'll just let people ask him questions. I mean, that man will stand there and talk fishing all day long.
Hours and hours and hours,
Yeah. Well, we are happy that you're putting this together. I mean, Fish on Northwest will be there. We'll have a booth set up with tons of our swag and clothing items and things to sell, and just stand around and talk fishing. And, you know, a lot of people showing up, hunting and fishing and just enjoy the outdoors will be there. And name a few of the vendors that are there in addition to, you know, us, Fish on Northwest, promoting our show and promoting what we got going on. What other guys got going on?
Anglers West is going to be there. Brown Dog Fishing.
Brown Dog Fishing.
Brown Dog Fishing.
Okay.
Father-Son Fishing.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow of Death Jigs.
Oh.
Gosh, now I'm going brain dead. There's a bunch of nonprofits there as well that I really wanted to expose people to that help out veterans and kids and that sort of thing. Hyperviz is going to be there. And I mean, if you folks out there haven't heard of Hyperviz,
well, stop on by the booth and figure out what it is.
That's amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds pretty well-rounded. First annual, and I know there's going to be more, especially, I mean, you've already got it slated for 2 days.
Signed on the dotted line.
Next year. You know, this is how it starts. The next thing you know, you are Thurston County Sportsman Show 5 days.
Yeah, right. Doing the full meal deal.
Yeah, people coming from all over. So, well, congrats on it, man. It's shaping up. It's taking off, and we're going to be there and looking forward to it. Inviting everybody to come on out. Spend an afternoon there at Thurston County Fairgrounds. Gates open at 10.
At 10.
Open 10 to 6. Beer garden. I mean, if nothing else, Tommy. Seriously, right?
Tequila garden?
Not yet. Next year.
Okay.
All right.
Wine garden? Yeah.
And it's cheap. It's $5 to get in, and if you're a kid under 12, it's free.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
awesome.
$5 admission. Kids under 12 are
Can't beat
free.
that.
Bring the kids out. Trout pond on hand. The whole thing. It's going to be a good day. So appreciate you coming here tonight and letting us know all about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All righty. Larry, don't go anywhere. We got more to get through here. We're going to jump out for a break. When we come back, our good buddy, Mark Yuasa with WDFW is going to give us a regional roundup. And yes, we're relying on him because there's so much going on. Tommy and I can't keep it all straight. 2 minutes and we're back right here, Fish on Northwest.
If you're looking for the best fishing rods in the world, you really do need to take a look at the Edge rods. I designed and built new machinery, and I think this new machinery has enabled us to build blanks like no other company could build without this equipment. There is no other rods in the world that are as good as these rods. You owe it to yourself to take a good look at them.
A Northwest favorite for almost 40 years, Arima boats are manufactured with pride right here in Bremerton, Washington. Arima Boats offers all of our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. With literally thousands of Arima boats on the water throughout the Pacific Northwest, Arima boats are a proven hull design that offers incredible fuel economy and all of the amenities that a serious angler is looking for. All Arima boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Arima boats are designed to maximize deck space while also providing ample seating. Contact us today at Arima Boats for all your boating needs and let us help you get out on the water.
All right, welcome back here in studio to New England. Tommy Donlan. Yes, Larry Stamp still hanging around. Just might have a few things to say, Tommy. So we're going to keep him on point here, right? So, hey, welcoming Mark Yuasa, Communications Manager for Public Affairs with WDFW, with our regional roundup. Again, so much going on, Tommy. No better person to put on point here than Mark Yuasa.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well, welcome back to the show, Mark. How you doing?
Doing good, guys. Doing good. Thank you.
Hey, we had a June opener 16th today, so Area 10 Resident Coho opened up. Did you get any reports in? You hearing from anybody? How'd it go?
Yeah, well, you know, it was kind of slow, surprisingly, but surprisingly, but not surprisingly. Let's put it that way. You know, people know that we had these big, massive low tides this week, and from what I heard from some of the charter guys too, is that the water's a little dirty out there already. So, you know, it kind of threw things off, you know, but the good news is, you know, the fish are there is what I'm hearing. You know, they aren't very big. They're about, you know, I've been hearing 2 to 3 pounds, although I know one charter guy got one that he said that was like 22 inches they measured. So,
okay.
You know, they're there, they're saying they're marking them. So that's good news. And, you know, this fishery sometimes it creeps like this, right? And then all of a sudden it's like a light switch and it just turns on.
Right.
So, you know, they're there. That's the good news and it'll happen.
Now, tell us about that. So that's just one of the many opportunities we're going to discuss. Mark, tell us about, what's this about, a 72-hour opener in Area 11? What's that?
That was interesting.
What is that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, you kind of look at that quota number, right? And you multiply that by the number of guys out there. And, you know, I was out there and looking around and, you know, there was a lot of boats just off the clay banks alone, and with the fish, almost a fish per rod average, you know, if you got 200 guys out there, you're knocking off 200 fish out of a small quota right away. So, but the good news, right? I mean, we know the fish are there. I mean, the opportunities to, you know, drive your boat another 15 minutes south into Area 13, south of the Tacoma Narrows, where, God, I mean, I was down there once this year already, and man, it was so nice. There's no dogfish. Guys are catching them around me, trolling. We were jigging. We were mooching. We were getting them on both gears. So, you know, and there's some quality fish down there, which is surprisingly. You know, we got one that was probably 12, 13 pounds.
Oh, nice.
And the limit's 2, right? So, you know, on hatchery Chinook.
Yeah.
So, you know, the opportunities are around, you know, given the fact that the 11 thing didn't last very long.
Yeah, it sure did. And I think the Yuasa family was probably the culprit of, I don't know, impacting half of the quota, Tony.
Yeah, right.
I think they're out there with their jigging and their mooching and freaking just, you know, killed it, right? So,
I saw one of them with a meat liner, too.
Oh, yeah, one of them was a meat liner, too. Oh, so, yeah, there's plenty of boats out there with Yuasas floating around. So, hey, Mark, we got Nia Bay, La Push, Oahu, Westport, all those ocean fisheries are going to take off here in short order, starting with the 18th. So What's it looking like for our ocean opportunities coming up, starting here on the 18th and into July with that Westport opener?
Well, God, you got to be psyched. You know, just hearing what's happening up earlier in Southeast Alaska in May, and you know the non-treaty commercial troll fisheries that have been happening already that started up in May. I mean, you know, and with a 1.2 million coho forecast, you know, coupled with about 500,000 almost of Chinook, boy, you're gonna see some fish out there. And if they're already there, like we're seeing in the inner waters, I mean, yeah, it could be a dandy opener. I mean, you know, Tommy, just like I do, that north coast up by Nia Bay and La Bushman, it opens Saturday, man.
Oh, I'm already salivating. Yes. Mark, I've already gotten pictures from some of the commercial trawlers that have been out there, and they have been hammering some large model Chinook.
Yeah.
It's been phenomenal already. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All of that too is coupled by we've had some good ocean conditions here, you know, and I think we're finally reaping the benefits from these better ocean conditions and getting those the 2015 debacle behind us. So, you know, hopefully this stays the path for a while here, and we continue to see these improvements on these fish runs.
Right.
So.
All right.
Yeah, and then,
I guess that's me.
Yeah, I was just waiting on Tommy.
sorry, my head was just like,
he's just kind of drifting off into the ocean.
Running into the sharks.
He was underwater there for a minute.
Like, you got me off in La La Land, Mark. Sorry about that.
You're speaking of that shallow water at Nia Bay.
That too.
That was epic last year. There's no reason it's not going to be as good this year.
We also have another cool, really local opportunity that I know a lot of guys love to go out and grind, and that's the Tulalip Bubble. Tell us about that.
You know, it started off, you know, fairly good. Now it's kind of in this pattern of fish here and there, and obviously morning bites being probably your better bet. But I mean, you know, God, you know, like we're saying, you know, we're seeing these fish present everywhere, and right from when these fisheries are opening. So, you know, those are opportunities that people shouldn't overlook. I mean, you want a king, you know, I'd say go to Tulalip, hit that morning bite.
Sure.
I mean, there's no other good place to be, and there's been some quality fish. I saw one on social media. This young girl, holding up a fish that looked like it was pushing 20.
That's awesome.
So, God, man, you get something like that into your sound, man, you're happy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So we briefly kind of touched on there, Mark. You mentioned like Area 13. You know, I'm hearing mixed reports. Folks are trying to figure out why that fishery is a little bit on the uptick. Now, I think we're seeing a little more bait out in certain parts of that, for one thing. But, you know, are some of these returning fish or fish that have been hanging out from net pen releases to support the Orca program? Are some of these just, you know, better earlier returning fish on this fall fishery that's coming? What are your thoughts going into this Area 13 opportunity?
To be honest with you, I think it's a nice mix of some immature fish that are still sitting around here fattening up. I mean, we stopped right before the Narrows Bridge just to kind of survey the fish screen, and I looked down in the water, and there's candlefish just everywhere. And I've been hearing down south, there's the anchovies, and where we were jigging up fresh herring for mooching. You know, and this is off Gibson, and so, you know, you're seeing this mix of abundance of bait fish down there. You know, these resident Chinook that are hanging out mixed in with some of these early kings. You know, they're just sitting here. Why go anywhere else when you got food in front of your face, right?
Yeah, that's what Tommy does.
It's just one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things, right?
Yeah.
I don't go very far.
He's going to get it after the show.
Oh, yeah. He
forgets that I'm bigger than he is.
You try to get Tommy out of the house and get him out here in the studio to do the show when there's still food on the table. It's like, come on, Donlin, we got to move to the next part here. Yeah, so, yeah, I think you're spot on about that. I think there has been a significant increase in health and in the environment there. And, yeah, a lot more forage fish and opportunity of bait just surviving and being in that Area 13. It was a ghost town. It was barren for a number of years. And there'd be no fish around to go along with that. So
I got to ask you, Mark, on that. You know, under the Narrows there is that like famous jig fishery, right? That stretch where people drift through there and jig. And you know, you talked about the sand lance that you're seeing there. What's your go-to jig for that area? What do you like?
You know, you'd be surprised. I'm an OC kind of guy. I just stick with a Point Wilson dart, a glow white, and that's just been my go-to. You know, I'll switch it out with you know, the P line or some other things too. But, you know, I always tend to just kind of stick with what I do best with year in and year out. And it seems like that. And, you know, and I know a lot of guys have been, you know, switching. There's just so many different brands on the market now, right?
There is.
But you know, the tried and true always seems to work for me. So hey, if that does the job, I'm not changing.
I can't. Yeah, I can't disagree. Now, probably the more important question though is jigging action. Long sweep, you know, short sweep. Like, tell us a little bit about what is the secret Yuasa jigging action.
Yes,
I want to know.
It's a family secret, right? It's handed down generation to generation. Yes.
I call it the herky jerky. You know,
the herky jerky. Right.
Yeah, you heard it. You heard it first from me. I like to get my tip. I like to get my tip right down to the water, and it is kind of about 5 quick pulses, right up to about the gunwale. You know, that high, and then just let it slowly. Just give it about a 10-foot little drop back down to the bottom. And keep doing that. And those things, they hit like a freight train.
Right.
You know, but, you know, there's so many, I've seen other guys out there doing the bigger sweeping motions or you know, the more higher ups and slowly, gradually letting it flutter back down. But for me, I just like that little quick flutter. I don't know. It just seems to work, you know.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
And if it works, don't switch, right?
Right, exactly.
Just like the jig I'm using.
Right, exactly. Hey, let's slide on in here to July now, Mark. We got some great opportunity coming up in July. A number of fisheries going to open up on various days and whatnot. So Central Puget Sound Marine Area 10, we got that Chinook opener, what is it, the 14th?
Yep. It switches over to Hatchery Chinook on July 14th.
Yeah.
And I think that same day you come in line also with some of the other fisheries, like Marine Area 9 has that 3-day fishery on the 14th and the 16th.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the 21st and the 23rd. And then, you know, they're going to reassess it and see where it goes from there. And if there's enough left in the bank, they're going to reopen it on the 28th, from what I hear. So, you know, fingers crossed. You know, the quota is it is identical to what it was last year. You know, a little bit down from 2020, you know, less than a couple thousand, but you know, here again, you know, if you saw what you saw last year, you know, and with it not being open every day, hopefully, you know, this equates to a little more on that back end in August. And I know those guys up at Port Townsend don't want to hear that because, you know, I know that place is lights out when it first opens and it just stays that way for a while. But boy, if you get some of those fish down here in Area 9 down to possession at no point come early August, and if that stays open, that's sweet money, you know, and for a lot of the guys down here. So we'll see what happens.
Right.
Yeah, tell us about Area 7, too. I thought for a second there we were going to have anglers storming the North of Falcon process when they heard there wasn't going to be a season.
No opportunity,
But we do have opportunity there.
We do.
What do you think is going to happen there?
Well, you know, I mean, we all know what happened last year. You know, the quota is just a smidge up from that. You know, it's I think it's kind of the same tune. It's the 14th and the 16th of July. You know, more days can be added kind of thing if the in-season update shows it's possible. But I think for those folks, too, is what they really want is that later August, you know, August 16th coho fishery up there. And so hopefully, you know, fingers crossed that, you know, we can see that for those guys because they're hungry up there and they need those fisheries just like everybody else.
Yes, they do.
So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Area 6, can't overlook Area 6. We got some great opportunity going on there around the straits and of course Port Angeles area. What do you know there?
Yeah, you know that's been known. You know, especially that eastern strait. There is that closure part, but you know, going west away from Port Angeles towards Freshwater Bay, which is open for hatchery kings, when that opens on July 1st. I mean, boy, that's a place that people tend not to really fish And I remember, you know, one of the retired fish and wildlife biologists up there, Larry Bennett, who lives up there, man, he'd always tell me some stories about early July just being, you know, a time to be there kind of thing. You know, everyone seems to set their sights on CQ or Nia Bay and just, you know, they just stream right past PA. And so, you know, that might be something worth looking at, you know, and although, you know, Area 5 does open that same day too. So, you know, we'll kind of see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. But boy, you know, lots of things happening, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, if CQ is good like it was last year, I don't see why, Freshwater Bay, Port Angeles wouldn't be good. It should be lights out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So next question, Hood Canal, Northern Hood Canal. What is the outlook there?
That's another one, right? That's another July 1st opener. And it doesn't get much attention like it should. And so, we'll see what happens. I mean, you've got a more, a bigger bag limit. You got 4 salmon,
4
daily
fish.
limit there. And it's similar to Area 13. The minimum size limit there is 20 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you put much time in there, Mark, over the years? Have you fish Hood Canal much?
No, it's one of those places, right? I mean, I wish I had enough time to go everywhere, but I got to pick and choose, man. And I think that's what's the cool thing is people just need to, be mobile, think about all these opportunities that are spread out everywhere, and just you got to pick and choose. But yeah, that's one of those places. The locals are quietly finding fish.
Yeah.
So
Mark, it also helps if you're retired.
Oh, there is that. Start taking advantage of some of this stuff. Yeah. Well, I'll let you know how it goes once I find time.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, we talked about those few days we get here in Area 9 and little hole shots here in 7 in July, but really the meat and potatoes of the thing for 7 and 9 or August. Prior to those early discussions in north of Falcon, we thought 7 and 9 were completely off the table for July, as Tommy had kind of alluded to. We got those periodic dates, and it kind of moves around. But we get into August, hopefully there's enough fish coming, and that's going to be some great opportunity, don't you think?
Yeah, fingers crossed it is.
Right.
Hey, and one thing I forgot to mention to you guys, and we got to back up a little bit because I don't know if a lot of people even saw this, but there was a change to the South Central Sound Area 11 fishery when it reopens on July 1. It tends to slow down from that red hot period we saw when it shut down so early, but they are going to start it off on a Wednesday to Saturday schedule.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yes.
And so people need to just kind of be ready for that, but I think the good news is if, as we get closer into August, and if that fishery and the quota looks comfortable enough, you never know. The agency might be willing to reopen it, back to daily. But, I think it's better to kind of start off conservative, and we'll see how that all plays out.
Yeah. Good reminder.
That's good to know. But you know what I'm really excited about, Mark? Puget Sound Dungeness crab. Okay.
You are.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get some fresh Dungies.
Yes, you are.
And so I was wondering, I know the tribes have been out in Area 81, 82. I don't recall them being out this time last year and prior years. Is that a normal schedule for them, or did they beat us to the punch this year?
Yeah, I've heard in the past, though, they've been out there, but I don't know. I haven't really been following their schedule this year to kind of see what's been happening. But yeah, I've been hearing through the pipeline too that people have been saying that they've been out there. But yeah, there again, I'm not quite sure on the schedule itself, so I couldn't speak for them and their behalf of what they're doing. Yeah, but boy, when it opens here on July 1st, some of the areas, I think I should be looking at that very closely. So the abundances look like they're not super great like they had been back in the middle of the 2015 eras or beyond, earlier than that, but. I think there's still a good number and a good opportunity for folks to find some, good spots out there to find some nice crab this year.
Yeah, and I'm just thankful and happy we got an Area 10 and an Area 11 opener out of it too. That's exciting.
Yeah. Yep. Although you got to pay attention to which days of the week, but we got opportunity, right? So,
for sure.
Well, anything else you want to throw in on the heap of info you've laid out before us this evening, Mark? Or?
Well, I hate to blow everyone's bubble on what I'm doing, but man, I'm kind of excited about the Upper Columbia this year. And, we've got a little better sockeye run.
Right.
The king run is pretty identical to last year, and man, to see those fish come up and to see the cut on those fish from all that migration miles they've been coming up,
right?
And to fish Chelan Falls on the opener, that's where I'm going to be. So,
is that where you're at? Okay.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that fishery as well. So, there's some good freshwater opportunities as well for folks. So,
absolutely.
Awesome.
Too much to do, not enough time is my mantra.
Yeah,
same here.
Frozen with indecision, as Herzog would always say, right?
Yes.
So
exactly.
We're going to be looking forward to the announcement of what that actual date for the Baker Lake Sockeye opener will be. The Skagit opened up for sockeye today. Yep. We have, as you mentioned, that Upper Columbia River Chinook opportunity, and plenty of sockeye to be had up there. And I think those fish are just gonna keep coming. And I think those that late fall fisher on that Upper East Side Columbia River is going to be really good for Chinook, as you mentioned. So,
I'm excited. Definitely.
Yeah, it makes two of us. Hey, always a pleasure, Mark. Mark Yuasa, Communications Manager for Public Affairs, WDFW, and the Regional Roundup. Always appreciate your time, sir, and we'll stay in touch.
Sounds good, guys. Have a good week.
Thanks, Mark. You too.
Talk to you soon. All right, bye.
All right.
I'm going to do the herky jerky next time I'm out.
You going to do the herky jerky?
Do the herky jerky, the Yuasa herky jerky.
Yep, the Yuasa herky jerky. We're going to get that on video.
Yeah. Yes, we will.
Yeah. I think, anyway. All right. Some things are better left unsaid. We're going to jump out for a quick break. And we come back and close out the show. Tommy got a few points of information to discuss. Got some folks asking a few questions about sockeye. Happy to throw out a few points of information in that regard. Talk a little bit about kokanee. People are actually kind of asking about this whole smoked kokanee deal.
They saw how many fish you put up and the beautiful red fillets, and they want to know.
They want to know. So hey.
I want to know too. How do they taste?
Yeah,
I've never had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never had one.
Really?
You have to help jog my memory.
I'll go grab some of those at the break. We got a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right here to close out the show. Fish on Northwest.
Ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our client security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh. No, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Hey, welcome back in studio here. Dwayne England, Tommy Dolan, and Larry Stamp closing out the show. There, Tommy, you're feasting once again on.
These are awesome. Okay.
A little bit of smoked kokanee, Larry.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
We need to.
I'm gonna stick around. I want to live here.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Everybody wants to live here.
When are we going fishing?
How about after the show? Hey, Tommy, kokanee are much smaller fish. I mean, it's nice to get that big slab of salmon and just fillet it out, get all the bones out. Whether you pull your pin bones, whether you just leave them in, whether you carve them out like I like to do, it's a little more of a daunting task on these smaller fish, right? But you just kind of set yourself up to be able to just kind of just get on through. I just fillet them off the bone, then I bring them in to the house on a nice hard flat surface, and I make sure I get those rib bones off, not trying to take too much of that belly meat out because that's where all the fat and oil is. And then I do strip cut those pin bones directly out of these small fish because, there's not a lot of meat there to enjoy, and I don't want to sit there and pick and choose and spit bones out of my mouth and just kind of have to deal with all that. And I just feel like the end product, you put in a little extra time on the front side, the end product is where it's at. And when you give it to persons and they can palate that and enjoy the flavor, not have to worry about spitting out bones and whatnot, and or when Shing makes her dip.
Right.
And you don't stir all them bones in there and stuff. So it's funny, I put that post up, showed those fillets that they were drying after the brining process, ready to go into the smoker. And the nice thing about these kokanee is they take like 4 hours.
They're quick.
4 hours to smoke at 120 degrees, and I crank it up for the last half hour about to 160 to make sure you kill all the bacteria and whatnot. And then you're good to go. It takes no time. The lion's share of the time is all the prep work prior up to, right? The smoking is nothing. But
now this is on the Fish Hunt Northwest page? This recipe? Or is it in a video?
So it's in a video. I can go ahead and post up the recipe and the process. Other folks were also asking how you get the bones out of these small fish like that. So I think when we come back after our break, we're going to take here for a couple weeks. I'll bring in some fresh kokanee. We'll show how to fillet those out, how to get those pin bones out of there, and then how to go through the dry brine process. These things have so much oil in them. They're literally sockeye, right? They're landlocked sockeye. So they're going to be full of natural oils and whatnot. Much more oily of a fish than you're going to get. Smoking a winter run steelhead, you're not going to have the oil coming off of there like that. Now, summer run you will, because they're full of fats and oils, much like a spring Chinook. But these little critters, you smoke them up, you get a couple of those to eat. That's like a fantastic snack, right? Yeah. And they make phenomenal dip out of that. So it's a bit of a process, but we will we'll walk through that. We'll show how to get those bones out of there, and folks seem to be interested in that. And a couple folks asking for post-smoking pics, so I guess I got to lay a handful of them out on the table and take a picture of smoked fish and put that out there. So, but it's a pretty simple recipe. I've stuck with this for years. It doesn't matter what type of fish I'm smoking. It's going to be the same. It's a 5-to-1 sugar to salt ratio. It's 5 cups of brown sugar, but then I break my salt up. It's a half cup of non-iodized sea salt and a half cup of garlic salt.
Oh.
So my salt, because it would turn out too salty when I do a cup of salt, and then I'd add a half cup of garlic salt. It's like you're just adding more salt, right? So I stick with a 5-to-1, 5 cups of brown sugar, 1 cup of salt, half and half of, non-iodized sea salt and garlic salt. And then a couple other things is a coarse ground pepper, get about a half cup of that.
Yeah, that's perfect,
And then believe it or not, so you get kind of that tangy sweetness to it.
Yeah, what is that?
That's that dried onion.
Oh, okay.
You put that dried onion in there, rehydrates through the curing process, and that dried onion, I've done it without the dried onion, the flavor change is amazing. You notice the difference in that, right? Put that dried onion in there, toss it around. I let these little guys, they'll sit in that dry brine, drawing that fluid out. I put it in gallon Ziploc baggies, and it draws all that liquid out, and 15 hours for these small fish. It doesn't really take long. 15 hours, a good rinse on them, and then lay them out. I put them on the puppy pee pads just in the room there, and just let the air dry on them. And it can be, it's 60 degrees in here, so a good 24 hours. You don't want to over dry them. You want them just to be tacky. To touch. Yep. Okay. And then literally, 4 hours. 4 hours to smoke them. And then
that's great.
I will like to let them sit in the fridge at least for a full day, because then the flavor really comes out of it after they've chilled. So that's kind of the process.
4 hours at 120 and then 160?
Well, it's 4 hours, and I gauge that on, I'll pull them out and take a look at them.
Okay.
If they're not quite done, and I feel like I can get there in a half an hour, it's all based on texture and when you touch the fish, to me, how it feels. You don't want to over dry it. You don't want it to be too undercooked, so it's more like, just kind of a kippered. Right, kippered smoke is like almost a really raw fish, but we want it to be a little bit more smoked, a little more spongy on the touch.
Yeah. No, this is perfect.
Yeah, so and then you think you get it down, and then you throw something in there that's a lot thicker, like Chinook, and then the length of smoke time it's much longer, and at what point do I crank the heat up again, and it's trial and error, man. It's trial and error. So, but yeah, enjoy doing that. Enjoy sharing it. Definitely worth the time and effort, I think, even though there's a bunch of small fish, but the end product is where the result is.
This is great.
And the fact that it's coming out of the backyard, right? I mean, seriously, it's
brag about that, why don't you?
Yeah, brag about that. Yeah, I'm not worried about gas prices, except when I got to tow the boat to go fill it up. Right. So, hey, I want to remind everybody the Fish Expo is this Saturday, the 18th. The gates open at 10. We are there from 10 to 6. Our booth will be set up, selling our swag. Come on by and say hi. Track Larry down. He'll be walking around managing the entire event, and there's a lot to do and see. Would love to see you folks come on out and give it some support. Any final words on that, Larry?
No, just come, and if you got rods you want to donate, I'll have a
there you go.
There.
Perfect.
And also, if you've got a child or someone that is a little bit financially, having trouble with gear.
Yeah.
And I've got stuff. I have a trailer there.
Oh, fantastic. So there you go. Another excellent reason to show up. A couple questions on sockeye, Tommy, before we get out of here. So
let's get into that.
Well, the Skagit opened today, and so you're fishing river, right? And it's not like you're casting and drift fishing and trying to catch a steelhead or a coho or whatever. These things are near shoreline runners. The water is up. Skagit is raging pretty good right now, though rivers are dropping. If you looked at some of our river forecasts and the direction they're heading, they are on a nice downward spiral right now. But historically, these sockeye like to run close to shore. If you can just toss it out there and plunk it, let it swing on in about a 45 degree and anchor down there below you. A spin and glow and a sand shrimp, coon shrimp if you got them, good coon shrimp, but they definitely go after the shrimp. Sand shrimp in the river seem to work really well. I reserve my coon shrimp mostly for lake fisheries, because once they get up into the lakes, Baker Lake, Brewster Pool up on the east side. The Columbia is no different. If you get that opener on any stretch of the Columbia, plunking seems to get it done. Guys get them in boats too, trolling for salmon. You'll pick up a periodic sockeye from time to time.
Now you're still brining that sand shrimp?
No,
just straight.
No. And there was kind of, I don't want to say a moratorium, but it was hard to find sand shrimp for a while because there was some conflicting battles going on behind the scenes on as far as who was licensed to be able to harvest sand shrimp, co-managers, and then private industry. So some of our bait suppliers were having a hard time. For a while, they weren't able to go harvest because they had to get this stuff all worked out. Sounds like some of the bait suppliers have their licenses back. You're going to see more sand shrimp back in the store, which is a good thing, especially as we get into our fall fisheries and want to utilize those sand shrimp for fall Chinook. But also for those that want to use sand shrimp for your sockeye fisheries, you should be able to go to your retail stores now and tackle stores and find it.
They're all over the place up in Port Susan. I mean, if people want to go, suck up their own.
Oh, go dig your own. That is the other option for those that do want to go get your own sand shrimp. You can certainly do that. There's a number of beaches around here in Area 13 too. You can go get them. So, but yeah, near shore again, plunking and spin and glows. Pink works really well. Maybe in some of your rivers, if the turbidity is a little high, you may go with a chartreuse pink combination, something like that, bright, vibrant, kind of get their attention. If you have water that is somewhat dirty, whatnot, with the higher conditions, sunny days can tend to be your friend because that light penetrates into that water a little better, and it doesn't put them off because the water's so cloudy anyway. It's just adding a little more light. So, but in these lake fisheries, it just basically comes down to kokanee rods, 8-inch Dodgers, and basically kokanee gear on steroids. Not all that much bigger. If I'm using a size 1 hook and a .08 smile blade on some type of flash rig that I tie up with a dual hook, I'm going to go to a 1/0 a 1/0 dropper type style hook, a dual hook rig. I'm going to use a 1.0 max smile blade, either in glow or UV, but the pink, the pink seems to get it done time and time again, so I stick with that. But it really is very similar to fishing kokanee. And so very slow on your troll speed, 0.08. Excuse me, 0.08 or 1 at the most. You add benefit to your troll on these slow troll fisheries by adding more flash to your downrigger ball, so it doesn't even hurt to put extra flashers in series off your downrigger ball and just have those hanging back there flashing, making more commotion. And the sockeye get drawn to commotion and flash.
Yep.
And so you put that on your downrigger ball, create more commotion and flash, draw them in, and depending on how deep you're fishing is how I gauge my setback on that. But pretty straightforward. Cool. It's just you know, kokanee on steroids basically. So if you need a good coon shrimp recipe, by all means, please look up the #1 coon shrimp recipe in the size O, Danielson Dodger. There you go, or the Max, of course. We'll get it done all day long. Coon shrimp. Go ahead and look up our recipe here at Fish Hunt Northwest. Track me over at Potskis. Just Google my name, Dwayne England Potskis coon shrimp recipe. It's going to come up either in a ready-to-read blog form or a how-to video. A couple of them out there, and get those cured up and get them ready to go get yourself some sockeye. So that's going to about do it for us.
Yeah. All right.
We have a couple weeks off.
Yes, we do.
We have a couple weeks off. We are on the road traveling to a few different places back and forth here. Unfortunately, we were not be around on the Thursdays of when the show needs to air. So, but hang in there. I assure you, when we come back, July 7th, Tommy, will be our next show. Little change of format, little change of presentation and how we're doing the show. All for very good reason. As we move forward, we'll unveil that as we get there in July. You're going to see a bit of a change in Fish Hunt Northwest and how we're presenting our show. And we're excited about that, mister.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be very fast-paced.
Great stuff going on. We are going to double down and double D, and we are going to make it happen. And you guys are going to be excited to see where this is going. So, hey, appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you, Ron, and thank Athletics Angling, all you guys tuning in tonight. Appreciate the comments and the questions. If you have additional comments or questions, please always hit us up on our Facebook Messenger, and or you can message us even over there at YouTube. Hit us up on our email at www.fishhuntnw.com. All of it. We try to gauge all of it and respond to everybody that presents us with questions or complex issues. That's what we're here.
We love those.
Yeah, absolutely. Larry, thank you again.
Absolutely.
For coming in. Looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah,
it's going to be fantastic, and looking forward to a good time. Yep. And might even partake in a frosty beverage.
A beverage.
Yeah, may do so. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. Get out there and get something done. Weather's going to be great. Enjoy, and we'll see you back here July 7th in studio. Have a good night.